we are live on Instagram as well. All right, cool. So give me 1 second. I'm at the hotel room in Austin right now. All right, y'all. So we are live. What up, Andrew? What's going on, everybody? So I'm on Facebook Live and Instagram Live right now. Saying what up? What up, Leah? Let me see. We got Andrew. We got Enrique. We got Giraldi. We got Lynn Wheeler. Josh Shambaugh in the house. What else? What's up, my brother? We got that Gresham boy. All right, cool. Today's going to be really powerful. So I invite everyone to be extremely attentive when it comes to this. And I'm going to make a disclaimer right now. You're going to hear the truth from anyone who speaks passionately about something is going to be their own version of truth. Everything that I share is never the final answer. I just share different awarenesses and different perspectives for people to possibly look at life or look through their own lens in a different way to come up with a conclusion that's not swayed by panic or fear or anything like that. So I'm going to see who else is on here. We got people on Instagram Live. We got people on Facebook Live. How is everybody doing? My fellow beautiful inside and out human beings, eternal beings. Today is a beautiful day. And I'm going to start this broadcast off with that. Today is a beautiful day simply because we woke up this morning. And if you didn't wake up, you know, there's a lot of people that didn't get that opportunity to wake up. So just the fact that you woke up and you're breathing, you have your limbs. For those who have limbs, you know, there's things that you're currently growing through, but the fact that you're alive and you're breathing is a reason to be happy and a reason to celebrate. So before we get into this topic, I know it's called the COVID-19, but that sounds so crazy on the mind. And I'm a big fan of words and empowered words that I'm going to actually call COVID-19 Coco. I'm going to call it because it sounds easier. And then I treat things and I can approach it in a different way that doesn't sound like a Contra video game from 1980s. So, I'm going to just ground us all, create a space for us to all to be grounded so we can receive this information. So I'm going to share my perspective and my take on everything that's going on. And, you know, anything that I share is like a buffet. Either it works for your life or it doesn't. So, I'm going to be talking about Coco today. If you don't know what Coco is, that is COVID-19. I read that somewhere. I don't know where I read it, but that was really cool. Hold on 1 second. Let me get the light right. There we go. So, I'm going to share my take on everything that's going on. Different principles and things that you can do with the time, because a lot of kids, my daughter's at NYU, they've stopped school and they're doing school online. But with the time that you can at home, or if there's families that have their families and wives at home and you're self-quarantining yourself and things like that, some different ideas that can support you in a very productive way. And then also give you awareness on what goes on inside of the human body when you're in a state of peace or when you're in a state of panic. Because a lot of times people just don't have this awareness. This whole entire conversation is about awareness. Okay, so I wasn't going to say anything at all because, one, I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news. And, you know, somebody's like, but you got to stay aware, but you got to be really careful when it comes to staying aware, because you can be too aware And then once you're too aware, what happens is it starts getting in your subconscious that you don't even make decisions for yourself. Then what happens is if you're too aware, you might go with wherever the energy goes, and energy flows where energy goes. So, hold on. I'm going to make sure that people can still see me. All right, cool. So this is why I got on this, because I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to be praying every day and talking to people every day. And just if people ask me a question on this whole Coco, if you're just getting in, when I refer to Coco, it's the COVID-19 that's going on. I just call it Coco because it's easier on my mind. And Coco was a friend of mine when I was a little kid, so I can refer to that. And I'm really good at making enemies friends. So even when it comes to anything that I feel like that might be stopping me or resistance or anything like that. So we're going to ground. I'm going to ground everybody before we get started. Okay. So if everybody out there, we're going to come into this conversation on the same playing field. I need everybody to close their eyes. Breathe in your nose, out your mouth. In your nose, out your mouth. In your nose, out your mouth. In your nose, out your mouth with a smile. Open your eyes. Okay. So, I don't typically watch TV. I don't watch TV. Don't watch the news program, because when you hear program, that means they're programming your minds for certain things. You know, some news is good. All news is not good. I've traveled all over the world to 70 something different countries. And you can see the same news, and it's different in almost every single country. And so when you see it different in almost every single country, then that means they're programming the mind to want to think what they want you to think. In America, the news is programmed off of fear. And I'm going to show you how fear works. Pay really close attention. Okay? This is how fear works. I want you to imagine a dog. There's a dog that gets into somebody's neighborhood, into somebody's yard, and he starts pooping on the yard. And then the neighbor says, I'm going to call the puppy pound on your dog if you don't do something about it. And so all of a sudden, the guy puts this shock collar around the dog's neck. And so when the dog now goes to go out of the yard, it gets shocked. Boom! Shock. Okay? And because it has this shock collar on its neck, when it gets shocked, it thinks, fear, pain, stop. Fear, pain, stop. Fear, pain, hypnotize. Domestication from fear and pain, because it gets shocked into the state of, every time I go and do this, there's fear and pain, so I'm going to stay. Now, to the point where when you remove the collar from the dog and there's no more shock fence, it's actually an invisible wall of fear. It has so much domestication of fear and pain in its mind that even without the electric fence and the shock collar, the domestication of fear has it hypnotized by pain and fear, right? So even when the shock collar is not there, the dog will then go. And he said, last time I did this, there was pain and fear. Boom. And it won't even go out of the yard. So it's created in its mind an invisible wall of fear for the rest of its life. Now, if you can understand the domestication of how the dog has been domesticated through pain and fear and the story that it told itself, that means you can control the dog with pain and fear. Pay real close attention. They will not share this on the news. If you domesticate the dog with pain and fear, you can then control the dog with pain and fear. Right? You go like this, the dog all of a sudden goes right back into its mind. Why? Because in any threat of pain and fear has controlled the domestication of the unconscious mind of the dog. Now, remove the dog and put you. Don't run into the street or you're going to die. Don't talk to strangers. They can kill you. Don't do this. Everything from teachers to parents, and these people don't know. The main people know, but people are only doing the best that they can with what they know. However, the majority of people on this planet have been domesticated through pain and fear. Pay real close attention. If you can control the dog with pain and fear, you can control humans through pain and fear. And not saying that nothing is happening. However, you can amplify to control humans to do what you want them to do if they're domesticated in pain and fear. Pay real close attention to what I'm sharing with you. If you're domesticated through pain and fear, you can be trolled like robots through pain and fear. Okay? Now, I stopped watching TV 8 years ago. I stopped watching the news. If I want to get informed, there are people in my life that I actually speak with, that I trust their judgment to get informed, but I do not bog my mind with all of these different scrolls and all of these different news programs. Whose mind do you think they're programming? Yours. Pay real close attention. Marketing people do it all the time. They do it all the time. The people at the top know exactly what to do to get you into McDonald's when we live in the most overweight country in the entire world. And I'm not trying to knock any company. I'm trying to spread light awareness around how we're all being controlled like dummies, like robots. They can tap into your subconscious. I do the same thing. The only thing is I'm trying to trick people into having health and wellness so they can live 20, 30, 50 more years. So they can get out of that mindset. You see what I'm saying? So people do it all the time. And I don't have the money that the billionaires have. So what do you think they're doing through colors, through music, through sound, through commercials, through everything, through programming? They're programming like robots to do what we want them to do. Y2K, SARS, Ebola, all these different things. Not denying any of this stuff doesn't exist, because I'm not a dummy. But pay close attention. Because I was around in Y2K. I was around in all these different things. And I've seen the exact same things happen. People buy up all this toilet paper, buy up all these different things, and then look at the stock markets and things that were lower, and then all of a sudden they boost up. And then it's a supply and demand thing. There's so much more going on. I just want to give people awareness around how we get controlled through our subconscious mind through programming. You don't believe me? Listen to a song that you don't like for 30 straight days. You'll be singing it for the next year. How many times have you didn't like a song and then all of a sudden you play the song and you hear 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 the song over and over and over and over and over. Even without trying to memorize the song, you're singing the song. You're doing the dance. You know the hook without even trying to memorize it. So if you know that, man, I just can't get this song out of my head. It grew on me. If you know that, people are not dumb in marketing. And people are not dumb when it comes to programming. They're not dumb. So I want to just shine awareness so that you can make a decision and not be swayed by a decision out of panic and fear, because panic and fear actually controls society, just like panic and fear will control a dog. I just want people to make sound decisions. And here's why I'm even bringing this to the forefront. Because the other day I got caught up in everything. COVID-19. Oh my God. I got to get food. I got to get and I was just scrolling. 6 straight hours. I never do this. Never, never, never. All of a sudden I start eating. Get this. I rarely eat fatty foods. I rarely eat. When I started scrolling and doing all, I was like, oh my God, fearing for my life and doing all of these different, listen, you gonna die when it's your time, period. And I'm not saying be dumb about it. I'm saying you make the decision, not allow fear to make the decision out of panic emotion. Because then we amplify whatever it is we amplify whatever the result is through fear and pain. So I am in this hotel in Austin and I'm just scrolling. I'm like, oh my God. I have to get the newspaper. I got to get the toilet paper. I got to get back home. I got to do this. I'm like, oh my God. All of a sudden I start eating fatty foods. I start stressing out. I rarely stress out. I'm one of the most calmest people under all circumstances. I've been through many a things that most people will never go through in my lifetime. So when I started stressing out, I started eating fatty foods. I started thinking negative thoughts about myself, and it started infiltrating my mind to the point where I looked in the mirror, I started seeing black circles. I was like, wait a second, this is weird. And I had to slap myself and be like, yo, G, you tripping. So I listened to the power. I started praying. I'm like, sweet minty Jesus, not right now. Me and my wife, we pray every single day. And I'm like, on the day that I'm stressing, I'm not praying. I'm eating these fatty foods. I'm thinking these negative thoughts. And this is one day. And as strong as my mindset is, I can't imagine what people are going through with weaker mindsets. Because I start panicking, I started fearing, I started all these different things. And then all of a sudden, I put on The Power by Rhonda Byrnes. I put on the audiobook. And it's all about love and giving to yourself and affirmations and things like that. I put on The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. It's a book that's based off of Christian principles, but anybody can listen to it and apply the principles. And I started listening to it and listening to it and listening to it. I went to sleep with it in my mind, listening to it, flooding my mind over and over and over and over and over. And I'm just like listening and listening and listening and listening. And I woke up and it felt like the kryptonite was off of my chest. And I was like, what the heaven was I just in yesterday? It was weird because it was controlling my thoughts, but I was strong enough to pull myself out of it. Because anytime in my life I have ever made a decision out of fear and panic, it has always turned into destruction 1,000 out of 1,000 times. The magic of life happens in the calm. Nature is calm. So, this is why I wanted to make this awareness conversation to just bring some light to people who might be in panic and they just, oh my God. And I'm not saying to be dumb about it, because things are happening to people. Clearly, things happen to people every single day. So I'm not saying to be dumb about it. I'm saying get yourself grounded and rooted in your own decisions, research, but not overindulge, because you overindulge in anything, you'll take yourself out. And when you overindulge in things out of fear and panic, you're setting yourself up for destruction. Why? Here's why. And I want you to pay really close attention. Your immune system weakens when you're most tired, when you're unhealthy, when you're stressed out, when you're resentful, when you're not active. And it's not necessarily old age. It's not necessarily old age. It's the fact that how strong your immune system is. It just, unfortunately, the older you get, the weaker your immune system get. But there are some older people that have very solid and strong immune systems because they've taken care of themselves for a long period of time. A lot of times people just give up after a certain point. So it's not necessarily old age. It's how strong is your immune system. So, pay close attention. Your immune, and listen, and younger people, don't be righteous about this. Well, I'm safe because I'm young and I'm active. Don't be like that. I strongly advise you not to be like that. Why? Because anything you put out will always come back to you. So even though you're young, if you put out negative energy, you're going to get that back one time or another. So, your immune system weakens when you're tired. Your immune system weakens when you're not healthy. Your immune system weakens when you're not active. Your immune system weakens when you stress. Your immune system weakens when you panic. Your immune system weakens when fear is the main emotion. Those weaken your immune system. Have you ever noticed at night you eat the fatty foods, or you stress out more, or you like whatever willpower you had during the day at night? That's why I say the freaks come out at night. Why? Because people's willpower weakens at night as they get more tired. Have you ever been at the end of the party, then all of a sudden you just putting on face, and then at the end of the party, it's just like, that is your willpower coming down, and that is your cortisol levels super high. Because your cortisol levels which is the hormone it's your fear hormone. Your cortisol levels are its highest when you're the most tired. So, being well rested during this time, doing whatever you have to do to love on yourself Affirmations. I love myself. I love my nose. I am grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to breathe. I'm grateful that God woke me up this morning. Whatever it is that causes you to love on yourself, the same nurturing that you would give to a newborn baby, you also deserve within yourself. So this right here, any resentment that you have towards anyone, because you never know when you're going to go anyways. So these are basic human principles anyways. I even talk about all of this stuff in my book that just came out. Funny that it just came out. Harboring resentment also weakens your willpower, weakens your willpower, and it also weakens your immune system. So during this time, if there's anybody to let that ish go, I would say now is the time, because you need all the power that you can get. You need that anyways. This is just putting a spotlight on humans being clean, humans forgiving, humans letting go of resentment, humans loving one another. So, being healthy, I can't stress it enough. You build a house with no foundation, it's going to crumble. The foundation of your life is your health, which affects your heart, which affects the way that you feel, which affects the way that you think, which affects the way that you speak, which affects your actions, and your actions affect the outcome. Recycle, rinse, and repeat. So I'm only sharing all this so that people have awareness that if you follow the pattern of fear and you're not grounded in this situation, you'll actually increase your opportunity of getting whatever's spreading. You'll increase it just by stressing out and fearing, like panic buying and panic. Oh my God, it's the end. It's the apocalypse. It's all this stuff. Oh my God. You can't even make a right thought through the eyes of fear. Why? Because fear is not our natural state. Joy is our natural state. All you have to do is look at a baby. A baby doesn't come out scared. Fear is something that you learn. So if you're domesticated in fear, what this doing is highlighting what needs to come out. So I strongly advise everyone to be grounded and rooted in your life principles. If you don't have any, here's something to focus on. Take advantage of being healthy today. If you have resentment towards anyone, call them and let it go. Let it go. Apologize for your part. Let it go. Forgive people. Love yourself. Love other people. Be rested. Be active. These are basic human principles. It's so funny. I'm hearing all these things that all of these different news stations are saying. I'm like, and they're saying things that we could, if we wanted to live a longer life, should be focused on anyways. So here are some action steps. If you've been in that fear-based mindset for the last few days, if you've been in that fear-based mindset and it's panic, it's like, oh my God. And I was there, so I can understand what's happening. Just know that everything is marketing. Everything. Everything. If you've been in that panic energy, you cannot make a sound decision through the energy of fear, through the energy of panic, because fear and panic activates your pain body. And if you've ever been impacted by fear or pain or something that caused you resentment or something when you were a child, that's what it's activating right now. You cannot make a sound decision through the eyes of someone who's looking through pain and fear. Just like the dog who has a shock collar around its neck, the owner takes off the shock collar and then it goes towards the invisible wall of fear that's not there. But because it's already decided on pain and fear, now it's being controlled by pain and fear and not making a sound decision that I can actually walk across the street or I can actually do this. So my whole purpose here is to share with you the opportunity to be grounded in your purpose, to connect with your family, to connect with yourself, to make your health a priority, forgive, let go of resentment, and let go of anything that could potentially weaken your immune system, which is something that's already important for us to live a long, prosperous life anyways. All this information I got from somebody who was 103 years old. And they say, age don't make you old. Age don't make you old. It's when you let your life beat you down and you're in relationships that you don't want to be in and you stay in it. And you're in jobs that you don't want to be in and you stay in it. When you don't do what you love, when you hold on to resentment, when you don't forgive, when you're not healthy, when you don't get sleep. She's telling me, my old neighbor that was 103 that looked 70, early 70, literally told me years ago the same thing that the news outlets are telling us to do right now. I'm telling you, it's so ironic. My book, Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life, just came out last month on the 17th. And I literally talk about all of these same principles that the news is telling us to do right now. So here's what you can do with the time. I spoke to my daughter and my daughter goes, they stopped school. She goes to NYU and it's on Zoom now. And there was some leadership trainings that I was supposed to go to. They were canceled and they're doing it on Zoom now. So while you're home, if you have a piece of paper, this would be very supportive for you. While you're home with your family, it's a really good time to connect with them and learn something about them that you don't yet know. And just because they're your family doesn't mean you know everything about them. It doesn't. What they show you is not everything about them. There's always other things, but it takes asking questions. So if you have kids and y'all are at home, it's an opportunity to deeply connect with your family. And kids, if you're at home with your family, it's an opportunity for you to connect with your mom and dad in a way that you probably never have done it because it's been the same pattern since you were a little kid. Whatever project you've been putting off, I'd say start it. Why not? Why not start something so you're not just sitting at home, stressing out, dwelling, and all these different things? Really start something new. Educate your mind. Read the books. Hell, heaven, read my book. My book just came out. It's on Amazon right now. Look up my name. Go and get it. Really cool. Spanish version is coming out. Is coming out in April. I've been fortunate enough to just, be in health and wellness. So people want to get healthy at all times. So my business hasn't been hit. And, however, other people's business has been hit. So my thoughts and prayers go out to all of you. And before I get off this call, I'm actually going to say a prayer for everyone out there, which, if you don't pray, you can just close your eyes. If not, but if you do pray, it'll be awesome, powerful experience. And don't be silly. However, Make your own sound decision, but make sure you're grounded. So if you've been operating in the emotion of fear, I invite you to take a shower. And I'm not being funny. Wet your crown. Wet this thing right here. Wet your crown with the intention of washing off the energy of fear and panic, and like truly feel every droplet of water on your body. Okay? And then go outside. Ground yourself. No shoes. Feel the ground. Get your feet in some dirt. Get your feet in some grass for a second. You know, it's like really get your feet in some nature. Then work on the things that we talked about inside of this awareness call, and really take care of yourself and know that everything is going to be okay, because the energy goes where energy flows. And the fear of panic will amplify any result that you see when it comes from a negative standpoint, because it's harbored. A lot of people have been domesticated in fear, so it takes on so much velocity. Turn your TV off. Find you a trusted source, one trusted source, and don't let it control you, because it'll turn into fear, and it'll turn into panic. It'll turn into panic. It's an opportunity to pick up a new book, read, just educate your mind. And things that you've been putting off, start them, and we shall take it from there. I'm going to close this call with a prayer. Everyone out there is going to say a prayer, and this is not I feel called to share a prayer. So for anybody who wants to pray, stay on. For anyone who doesn't, then it's not for you. It's for you, but you'll choose that it's not for you. So if everybody could bow their heads, close your eyes. Dear Heavenly Father, come to you today to say thank you for allowing us to wake up this morning. All the people all over the world, so many people didn't get that opportunity, but yet we did. And all of that was for a reason, in purpose and on purpose. So we thank you for your divine guiding. We thank you for your love. We thank you for everything that you had to sacrifice and everything that you went through in order for us to even be here this day. There is a silver lining, and there is a lesson inside of whatever is going on, and allow each and every person that is seeking to discover that lesson in a joyous and a graceful way that puts a smile on our face, whatever that lesson is meant to keep and bestow upon us. So thank you so much for your heavenly guidance. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. We ask that you bring about favor and remove what isn't supposed to be a part of our lives, and remove error and increase truth, and allow that truth to shine and be the light in a world of darkness, so that other people can see what is possible. So thank you. And we ask that you bless those who are growing through just whatever Coco is doing. We ask that you, as you've given a blind woman sight, as you've disseminated a fire out of nowhere, as you've caused rain, as you've caused sleet and snow, we ask that you bring this miracle upon our world, our nation, our planet. And we ask that you just lay a healing hand and healing hands, so that all can be restored, because no power is greater than yours. And we honor you. We support you. We thrive in you. Thank you so much. In your name we pray. Amen. All right, y'all. So, love you so much. I will be sharing more. But I'm not going to say, Don't be silly. There is something going around. Do your best to make sound decisions and not decisions that are based from fear and panic. That's all I'm saying. And the only way to do that is to make sure yourself is good. Overindulging in the news is not going to support your immune system nor anyone else around you. So make sure you're armored up, you're prayed up, you're not meditated, but meditationed up. You're calmed up and you're making sound decisions, like you are making decisions, and they're not being swayed by fear. So you all have an amazing, powerful, wonderful rest of the day. My wife is on a flight home. She said there were only 10 people on her flight. And I'm actually about to go and catch my flight as well, flying home from Austin. No weapons formed against us shall prosper. I will not work in fear. I will continue to be divinely guided. And my intuition is very, very, very strong. Nothing about this decision to even take a flight feels off. So I'm deciding to go with it. But if you feel off, do not go against feeling off. I don't feel off. So I will see y'all when I'm back in Los Angeles. I love you so much. And have a beautiful, amazing, powerful, wonderful rest of the day.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.